Gary Russell Brown.
From the village of?
Village of Hyannis. Just growing up here, pretty much. The old railroad tracks when I was a little boy growing up on Ocean Street, age 5 and 6 years old. Went across, we used to go in there and pick up the coal and get insects and salamanders and like that. Now there's no more railroad tracks, now it's Old Colony Boulevard. Just fishing in the local ponds in Katuitt and Centerville and off Craigville Beach itself. Just plain growing up in a good community setting. Oh, Lord, I don't know, there's so many of them. Winning a seat on the town council, coming back from Vietnam, having my first child here, Cape Cod itself, all those things. It depends on the time of year, what's happening and like that. I love Squaw Island. You'd be out there by yourself, relaxing and maybe catching some fish, maybe not, but just enjoying the beautiful view out there. Calmus Beach is a good one, Craigville Beach, any of the beaches. Where there's water, there's life. I grew up with my nephew, Charles McGeckran, here in Hyannis also, and the two of us befriended a young lad by the name of Butch Lane, Arnold Lane. His son who had a dog farm and like that, and we had dogs when I lived in Centerville. We used to go heronding all the mornings, and then his father would take him fishing, and I would constantly chum myself along, so to speak, to be sure that I went, and I just fell in love with it. Probably saved me a lot of trouble later on in life. Wow, that's kind of difficult to say. You've still got the economy, of course, but that's more national than anything. But you've got to be able to open up the roads, as you alluded to earlier, here in the Hyannis area for more business to help out the local business district. I see the parking. I think that the bid district, which first went in when I became councilor, was one of the smartest moves that the village of Hyannis had ever made, as far as opening up the town goes to be more friendly and more business-like. As far as the outer districts go, it's keeping in line with the fisheries and arts, museums, and everything else. It's people. Just plain simple, it's people. They're so strong and involved with government. They're so strong involved with the community. If there is a minor disaster or whatever, the people all rally around to be there. Very, very important to them. Those are all good things. I know there's been a crux of a problem as far as getting people to attend these meetings, so to speak, or to be on a council, or an assembly of anything, park and rec, or whatever it is. And that, to me, I think is a major problem, that they've got to get more involved and make the meetings and participate in the town and not wait for that emergency to happen. I probably love late spring, before summer when the Cape blows wide open. And the winter we've had, who could love that? That was just a joke. The fall's gorgeous as well, and the spring's nice, what spring we have. But to me, the late spring, when the flowers are blooming, the fish are coming in, and everything's just opening up.
You sound like an optimist.
I am, sir. When I grew up here on the Cape as a young lad, my mother and my sister, with her son, Chucky again, always took us to the Melody Tent on a weekly basis. Annie, Get Your Gun, Carousel, Wish You Were Here. On and on it went. It was like we had season tickets almost. And 4 of us always sat down in front. No big dinner ahead of time or afterwards, just go to the play and enjoy it. And it was tremendous. I loved it. And then the format changed, and they started to get all these great people in and guests and like that, and it's a chance to take your daughter to, or your son to one of these events and get to see it as a family yourself. But I think the Melody Tent is very, very positive. I love it. in any aspect that it wants to promote, whether it be a chili fest to a Ron White comedian comedy show. Doesn't matter. I believe I do. I've got 4 grandchildren, 3 grandsons and a granddaughter that was just born this past year. And I love them all, and I hope to have one of my grandchildren out fishing with me this year as a mate part-time. And that's how we can encourage them, and also through local sports in town and everything else. And you've mentioned, Lenny, a couple of times that I've lived my whole life here. I haven't lived it yet, my whole life, so just to clear the air. I think we'll muddle along pretty good. I think we'll have more increase of input into the town itself, maybe with a new fire station. We've got a new senior center during my time on the council, a new youth center, and the 2 of them pretty much pay for themselves. Maybe the fire station will pay for itself with life saves, who knows? But the whole idea is I've been, I think it is 9 countries, 4 continents, 33 states, and I'm back living a mile from where I was born. So that talks about my love for the town.
Sure.
My first job was at 4 Seas Ice Cream, and I was a dishwasher for the breakfast crowd there. And there were 2 ladies whose name I forget now that ran the breakfast shop, but Dick Warren had taken over for Mr. Watson at that time at the 4 Seas Ice Cream, and Dick and I remained friends up until his passing away recently. '64.
What do you remember about Barnstable High School?
We had a small class. The class after us was like 150. We only had like 120. And now I guess it's up into the 400 or 500s. But it was just fun being able to know your friends. I go to a class reunion now, and you know most of the people there. And that's kind of fun, the closeness.
Was there a particular teacher that you remember fondly?
Bob Manning, who just passed away. He taught me in high school and in college. And college was taught right here in this building. So he probably stands out more than most, I would think. In college, there was a Dr. Gottlieb who taught right across the aisle here, you know,
Sure.
that I remember. There was history and got me involved for me to get my degree in political science. The first job, just to revert back there, although it was at 4 Seas Ice Cream, the first real job that I had, I was a clerk at Sportsport Tackle Shop on West Main Street. And I was there for over 9 years. And that got me even more interested in fishing, obviously.
Sure.
But, you know,
And who was your boss there?
My boss there was Karen Hill, who just passed away last year. So, unfortunately, a lot of people are going on me. In the annals of the Cape, my great-grandfather, Alan Brown, used to sail the schooner the Montana out of the Lewis Bay docks, as it was called then. And we've got pictures of his old house, and the road, which is Old Colony now, running down to Breakwater Shores, used to continue right through into the jetties and the piers there. The wife and I were taking a walk out through there a few years ago, and she came across some rare stones. I said, "That's coal." And I said, "Those aren't stones." I said, "That's coal. It's been all burned and glossed over and everything." And, you know, little things like that. You can always find a piece of the Cape in you. Gary Russell Brown from downtown Hyannis.
How far back is your family?